Hi guys, Coach Bon here, narcissist, self-aware, and also diagnosed as bipolar disorder. So today's video, to this video is my attempt at explaining about how a narcissist goes into rage and what steps the narcissist can do and also the non-narcissist can do when they eventually clash with each other. So something that you can do uh, practically, all right? So what inspired me to do this video is actually listening to a few videos by Brian Taylor and Lee Hammock. So, which is a very, very good video that shows what we feel when we go through this episodic rages that we go through. All right, uh, and they stop short of trying to give tips on how to manage. When I mean manage, I mean what to do when that thing actually occurs. Okay, so on the narcissistic side, and I'll be talking also on the non-narcissistic side. Okay, hopefully this video helps. Okay, before I go through the tips, let me run you through a few things about narcissism. Okay, so we do go through these episodes where we go into rage. Okay, so right now I am descending into that uh, that situation. I'm disintegrating into what Sam Vaknin will typically be calling mortification. Now, what's interesting is this time I can sense the mortification happening. Meaning here, I can see the steps involved that brings me to that. And it seems the first step is usually rage, okay, aggression, right? So I'm going to be touching upon that thing at the moment. So always remember the core of the narcissist is always shame and guilt, okay? Meaning here we feel shame and guilt all the time, every time, and we feel it more viscerally than most, okay? We feel it as pain. In my case, it feels like literal pain. Okay, in my soul, not my maybe in my physical body, I don't know, but I always interpret it as specifically pain, very sharp pain. Okay, so different narcissists probably will feel it differently, but the end result would be we are we are trying to hide away from this pain. Okay, and our coping mechanism came up with the narcissism. Okay, so if you know that, understand that the narcissism requires fuel. In the words of Heiji Tudo, it requires validation, attention, in the words of Sam Vaknin. All right, so you can call it whatever you will, but in order to maintain that particular defense that we have, it requires constant narcissistic supply. Okay, constant narcissistic supply. Uh, Having said that, there could be occasions where we have so low a supply that it actually threatens the integrity of that self-defense mechanism. So, in a sense, if you imagine it, we always have this bubbling of shame and guilt that we have hidden deep inside that is starting to burst forth. Okay? So, if it does burst forth, it is going to cause immense pain to us just because of the length of time we've been keeping it hidden, and also the intensity of everything crashing on our heads, right? So the first reaction would be to try to find the source of the narcissistic injury, right? Meaning here we are trying to figure out ways to stop people from causing that injury uh, and disintegrating that defense even further. So we become aggressive, we become, uh, basically assholes, all right? So bear that in mind. Okay, so in this case, especially if you are a weaker type of narcissist, okay, what's typically going to happen is whatever's causing you injury, you are unable to do anything about. Okay, unless you are a very powerful person, unless you have a very high hierarchy in society, it is very doubtful you'll be able to stop what's causing you that particular narcissistic injury. Now, there's all kinds of places where you can get narcissistic injury. So just imagine places that will typically cause you shame and guilt, like social media, for example, or religion, for example, or any other places. Then you will understand why it is very difficult to actually try to stop these places that give you the narcissistic injury. So in effect, you feel like you're out of control. Okay? Now, typically, it will come out as frustration and rage once a narcissist realizes he cannot do that. Now, unfortunately, uh, since the since the narcissist will be trying to get narcissistic supply, the main target would be your primary supply, okay, your primary relationship. This is primarily the one that's targeted by the narcissist when he goes through this narcissistic rage. Okay, due to the closeness, due to the ability for the narcissist to control this person, and also because this person can give the necessary narcissistic supply to actually strengthen the defenses again. Okay, so that took 7 minutes for me to explain. So hopefully there's still some people here who's waiting to see what can you do when this situation occurs. All right, I'm going to be talking first on the narcissistic side of things because I'm more familiar with that. So I'll get enraged, frustrated, in pain. So I'll be talking to my wife, right? And then my wife obviously will see that that I am being affected by it, that I am starting to be enraged. Okay, here's where it gets crazy on the narcissistic side. Unless your wife or your primary relationship knows you inside out, every single thing she says, she does, or whatever will cause you to be narcissistically injured even more. If she feels sorry for you, causes injury. If she tries to say you're scaring her, you're making her feel bad, causes you injury. Why? Because all these things makes you feel shame and guilt. So it's a tough one. Unless the primary relationship knows you inside out, everything she says or do or he does will cause you anger. All right? Now, for those of you who don't understand a little bit what happens is, this is what happens, okay? It's very jarring, especially for us. So we do realize whatever we are doing is causing our primary relationship pain, anger, and everything. We do realize that because we are searching for narcissistic supply from them. Now, that realization that we are causing hurt on this person causes us shame and guilt. And the shame and guilt triggers the narcissism further. Boom, it's very jarring. Okay, we're starting to like feel sorry for you, and then the narcissism says, no way, you're starting to feel guilt and shame. You're not in the position to do so. Pulls you back. Boom. So it feels like a whiplash on us. So now we're narcissistic again. We get angrier. Our responses start becoming even angrier. And then your primary relationship starts getting scared now. And then you see that. Now they're scared. and you feel guilt because you're making them scared. Then once you feel that shame and guilt again, the narcissist pulls you back. Boom. Okay, so the cycle continues until eventually you go into narcissistic rage. Okay, so for narcissists, assuming you do not, your primary partner has not understood your situation yet, the best thing you can do is remove yourself from the situation. Just go away. Just go away. I know it's tough. Okay, don't try to manipulate, don't try to control the situation. My suggestion is, I know it's giving you supply at least, but it's not going to be good for you in the long run. Okay, so the best thing I can recommend for self-aware narcissists is move away from the situation, because trying to talk with the primary partner at the moment, at your condition, at her condition, or at his condition, it's causing you more narcissistic injury. So move yourself away from the situation. Once you have removed yourself away from the situation, and and you can think somewhat because you're not feeling narcissistic injury, what you need to do is to find supply. Okay, here's another thing I'm going to tell you guys. Narcissists, not normal people. Do not go for a new supply. Do not go for a new supply. Do not go find a girlfriend, go on a fling or whatever like that. It's going to be even worse. Okay, the temptation's there, I understand. It's going to be even worse. Now, the easiest place to get narcissistic supply would be your family members. Go call up anyone there. Okay, like in my case, it's my mother. Every time I call her, I'm going to get all kinds of validation, all kind of narcissistic supply. I feel like myself again after a while. Okay, if you have to do what I do, I actually I book a ticket back to my hometown already, at least for a week, just to get myself in order. So make sure when you go to your family is not the cause of narcissistic injury as well. Okay, so it's kind of like a tricky manner. If you don't have that situation, then probably the best thing for you to do is find a good therapist. Okay, find a good therapist who knows you're a narcissist, and pay them to give you the validation. Okay, like tell them early on, I'm paying you so you can give me some narcissistic supply. All right, so that's for the narcissist, guys. Okay, that's for the narcissist. Okay, now the third thing you gotta do, for the narcissist is, once you already built up your defenses again, you feel better, you come back to your primary relationship, primary supply. It is important for you to say sorry. Okay, this is going to cause some narcissistic injury. It is going to cause some narcissistic injury. But here's the deal, guys. It might cause you some by saying those words that you are sorry. You're going to feel the guilt and shame. But you will receive more narcissistic supply when your primary relationship realizes that you actually said it. You will receive more. That most of the time when I go through this situation, I say sorry to my wife and everything. Yeah, it feels painful when I do so, but in return, the trust I get, the understanding I receive from her, the attention I receive from her, more than makes up for the small little pain that I receive from saying sorry. Okay, so you gotta be smart. Okay, guys, you gotta be smart. Now, you won't be able to say sorry unless you get stable again. All right, so don't say sorry immediately. Don't do that. Don't, like, when you're like fighting and everything, you try to say sorry again. It's gonna cause even worse, because you at your weakened state, trying to cause any more narcissistic injury is stupid. Okay, so always say sorry at the end for the narcissist. Remember, trust me, you're gonna get more narcissistic supply after that. Okay, it's well worth the slight pain of the injury. And of course, I suggest adding one more thing. Tell her, tell her after you say sorry, I don't want this to be something normal for you or for me. I do not want this, me abusing you, as something normal. I suggest that, okay? If you've built up your defensive strong enough, you feel you can do it, tell her that you do not want abuse to be the normal in your relationship. So she at least knows that you are trying, okay? Again, it's going to cause some narcissistic injury because you are saying you did something wrong. But the narcissistic supply you're going to receive after that will more than make up for it, okay? This is for the self-aware narcissist. Okay, so whoever's still left here, this is what I would suggest for uh, non-narcissists to do, okay? This is what I suggest for non-narcissists to do. Again, this is my opinion because I have no idea what you guys go through. I mean, I have an idea what you guys go through, and I know people ask you to go no contact, this and that, blah, 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 whatever. You're fine to do that, okay? So just bear in mind, if you go no contact, if you sometimes when you see us raging and you go away, okay, you're causing a tremendous amount of narcissistic injury on us, a tremendous amount. Okay, meaning here you failed us somehow, you betrayed us. Okay, of course, if the abuse is really tough, it's really bad. I mean, yeah, go ahead. You got to protect yourself somehow, right? But assuming that this you see some redemption in your narcissist, just bear in mind he learns from all these things. Whatever you do that causes him injury, he'll know that it's something he can use to cause you injury. Okay, just bear that in mind, all right, guys? Okay, so I'm going to give a different way of how to handle your narcissist. Number one, if you listen to the start of the video, you already understand why he's in this state. He is now looking for validation, looking for narcissistic supply. Number one, what you got to do is you got to tell him that you are on his side, even if you don't agree with him. Okay? Why are you doing this? It's just because you need this guy to calm down. And he will not calm down unless he manages to fix the defense mechanism again. Now, primary relationships, okay? The primary partner sometimes underestimate their ability to provide this what do you call this? Narcissistic supply. You can provide a lot of narcissistic supply. On the flip side, you can also cause a lot of injury. So anyway, first thing you got to do is you have to validate his emotions. You have to figure out why exactly this narcissist is angry. It could be for the stupidest thing. Like for me, I just read two things made me went crazy. One, I went out with my friends and I found out I wasn't the biggest guy in that crowd. I wasn't the main man in the crowd. You know, everyone was saying, "Oh, you go." One of my friends has a business, and everyone was saying, "Oh, you have a business and everything." So in my mind, I was like, "Why are you asking him? I have a bigger business than this guy, and you're not asking me jack shit about business. I should be the one you're asking these things to." So that is intellectually, I know it's stupid, okay, but it caused me injury. All right. And the other one was Facebook posting. So it's stupid stuff. Okay, so it's very important to you when this narcissist try to tell you that he's angry because of this thing. It's very important to you to validate what he's trying to tell you. Tell him, yeah, you know what? They should look up to you. I know you think it's enabling, but on my side, it's more like a mercy. You're helping me, trying to save my soul. I'm trying my best to make sure I don't feel the pain of that guilt and shame I've been trying to hide. So the first thing you gotta do is just validate what this guy is thinking and everything. Keep dripping him supply. Keep dripping him supply. Yeah, these dudes, say something like that. Yeah, these dudes, they should look up to you. Ah, man. This Facebook posting, man, this whoever's writing this Facebook posting is stupid. Man, you're smarter than these guys. I know. Whatever you have to do to calm this guy down. That's how you calm down a narcissist. not saying things. Okay, this is like how normal people say it, right? Okay, you try to process the thing. Let's see if it's true or not. Okay, so we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want the truth at that moment in time. We just want to avoid having that shame and guilt bubble up to the surface. So we want to create that defense mechanism again. So say whatever you need to say to make this guy believe that he's on your side. That's number one. Okay. Usually, once you start doing that, you'll notice a big change in the face of the narcissist. Okay, he'll start to whine and whine and stuff in bit. The next thing you gotta do is you gotta do this. Okay, I'm going to help you to get that. Okay, in my case, I want my friends to know who I am, God. So this is what my wife did. Okay, okay, I want to help you get this thing. I want to help you get this thing. This is what I'm going to do for you. Be on his side. All right. Just as proof that what you do, what you're saying, is not just you just talking. It's actually something you want to do. Oh, okay, it's nice. The heart. That's the wrong spelling though. It's Heart. Okay, Papa, finish this video first, okay? Oh, that's good. That's good. That's lungs, right? Lung. Okay. Can Papa finish his video first? It's almost finished. Is it okay? Okay. All right. Okay. So you gotta follow it up with some kind of action, guys. My suggestion, if you wanna, help with your relationship with the narcissist. Okay. Now, what happens? What happens if, let's say, you say the wrong words? Because you're gonna say the wrong words. I mean, you're not perfect, right? You're gonna say the wrong words. Then you start noticing this person starts raging. Now, you gotta not panic. You gotta not panic. The strategy is simple. Okay, the strategy is simple. The only thing you need to do is just say sorry. That's it. Just say sorry to him. Okay, because to him or her, because on the narcissist point of view, you have just caused him injury with whatever you said. No matter how logical or whatever, you just caused him injury. So it's nice to hear when you say sorry. I'm sorry for causing you injury. Okay, for self-aware, he'll know what you mean. Just say sorry. Okay, let's do this again. Because I'm on your side. Keep telling him you're on his side. That typically will calm the narcissist down. Okay, once he's calm, okay, here's the weird stuff. He is the weird stuff. Okay? He is compelled to punish you. He will be compelled to punish you in some way. That's just how the narcissist makeup is. The compulsion is there to punish you. If he doesn't do that, the resentment will keep on being in his mind. So he'll only be compelled to punish you if you did some narcissistic injury to him. Okay, I'm just trying to get you guys to understand here. So even by saying sorry, you're not off the hook just yet. But what's going to happen is the punishment will be minuscule. Okay, let's assume he's going to do silent treatment on you. It's going to be like maybe for 30 minutes. Yeah, silent treatment 30 minutes, no talk. And I mean, he or she won't be able to not talk to you in the long term, because in the long run, you gain the narcissist trust. In the long run, you gain narcissist trust, and he knows he can get supply from you. You're his safety net. So allow him to punish you. I mean, it's a small mercy, right? Think of it like a joke. The punishment itself won't be anything much. I mean, it'll be much worse if he's in rage, of course. But once he's calmed down, the punishment that he is compelled to give to you will be like so minuscule, you won't even feel it. But always acknowledge it. Huh? Always acknowledge it. Okay, are you done? Am I forgiven? Always acknowledge it. Pisses them off also if you don't realize it's a punishment. So even if it's like a light punishment, acknowledge it. Just say, okay, am I punished enough? Can I start helping you? Something like that effect. So that's my take on what a narcissist can do when he's in narcissistic rage. And hopefully, if you're non-narcissist and you are dealing with narcissists, okay, this only works for the primary partner. Okay, everyone else, you probably won't have to go through these things. Okay, you can actually uh, use normal methods on the narcissist unless you're not the primary partner. Okay, now in any case, I hope what I'm talking about helps. Right, you can try it out the next time you are in a your narcissistic partner goes into this type of rage. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be 100% workable, but it does work for me, and it gives you another option, another way to approach a narcissist. Right. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.